I like the screen. I really love the back.
Nice. Oh yeah, let's focus on you. Make sure we're focused. Does that look good?
Good. Tell me when you got to put your thumb up. Tell me when we're up. And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it's the Tom Chenault Show. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's been a heck of a week for me, and I am really excited about today's show. Thanks again to Ted Anderson, Genesis Communication Network, his network of 550 radio stations and all the stuff he does all over the world. Helps us all, and it really helps the Tom Chenault Show. We got some big changes coming. We're even going to change the name of the show. So things are going to get a lot more interesting. You can tell I changed the backdrop from shameless advertising for contact mapping to a regular old backdrop for you this week. So we're trying that, but I think I'm still going to throw a couple plugs in it. But today, I've got an interesting guest for you. I am a fan of this guy. He's not in network marketing. He trains sales organizations all over the world, big sales associations for Fortune 500 companies, people like Tom Hopkins, people like that. It is an insane amount of people he speaks to over the world on a very, very regular basis. He's a nice guy. My son, Adrian, got hooked up with him and is actually going to be at a conference he's doing in a month or so down in Denver that he'll tell you about. But he's all over the United States and in the world. And this guy's got some serious chops to him. I saw him speak. I liked what I heard. He's going to be speaking with my friend Rod Smith at the same event down in Denver. And I want you guys to meet the great Steve Black. How are you, Steve? What's going on, man?
Great to be here, Tom. I appreciate the opportunity.
You are a smooth talker, man. I got to go to your seminar down in Denver, in Longmont that day, and you are a polished professional speaker who knows how to relate to an audience, who was smart enough to build his business, a speaking business. Big time stuff, you guys. And then all of a sudden he realizes technology is going too. And he has really, really reacted to that in a positive way to the point now he's an expert in social media too. So just give us a little backdrop of who you are and where you're going, Steve, because you're you're a fascinating guy to me. So I want to understand you more.
Well, terrific, Tom. I appreciate the intro. I've been in the personal development niche since 1994. I started in the promotion of Tom Hopkins seminars out in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you remember Tom Hopkins, he wrote the book, How to Master the Art of Selling. Yeah. And then in 1996, I partnered up with Brian Tracy. And, since then, we've been with over 500,000 business people across the US, Canada, Australia, Europe. And it's really been great to get belly to belly, eye to eye with the small business people, because I really feel small business people drive our economy and make things happen.
Well, network marketers are definitely small business people too, and they're epitome of small business. I don't know that you've been in that space to any great extent, but I know you've got a lot of people that are in that space in your seats that need to know the very things that you're training people to do. So let's talk about that a little bit. How do people find their inner self and their inner strength to become unbelievable salespeople and basically business builders?
Well, I think it all starts with goals. Without goals, you don't have direction, and goals pull you towards success. I live in Florida, basically at sea level. I was up in Colorado when you met me a few weeks ago, and part of my daily routine is to start with what I call the 59 minutes to terrific. Start with the positive affirmation, drink a lot of water, exercise, do something for educational, either read a book or watch a video, and then to go ahead and journal about what you're grateful for. But it all starts with goals. I came up here from sea level and the altitude is real. I got on a Stairmaster. It said, what's your goal? And I put in 18 minutes. I was tired after 3. But, because I had a goal, it was pulling me forward. And I was tired at 12 minutes. I was a little bit bored, but I stuck with it. And finishing what you start is so important. So finding that inner drive, inner connection, it all starts with putting a pen to paper and establishing what your life's about.
Well, I am extremely proud of that. And I watched you talk about that, goals, really writing down your goals. Talk about the difference between people that write their goals down, review them every day, and living into those goals versus people that just have them in the back of their mind and it isn't that tangible.
Well, you hit it spot on. Unless the goal is in writing and very specific, it's really just a dream. I get stopped at the airport, at ball games all the time. And I'll get to know people. I'll say, what's your goal? They'll say, make $100,000, build a big downline, establish my own base shop. And I'll say, well, where's the plan for it? And they're like, I don't have one. The ironic thing is more people will spend more time planning a vacation than they will in planning a life. And so, it all starts with having them in writing, whether that's digital or an ink format. And like you say, following through on it. To make a declaration and not finish is like building a foundation of a house and not putting the real equity up on top.
And did you learn that with Tom Hopkins and Brian Tracy? I was talking to Robert Kiyosaki on Friday before he heads for Asia. And literally all you guys that live at the top of this whole deal seem to have the same mantra, which is basically face it forward, have a plan, go for it, and never, ever give up on your dream, your goals, your vision. And it just seems like that's the message that we all need to live and learn and work hard and not really worry about what anybody else out there is doing unless it affects the plan you've got for your life, right?
I think you're on the right track there. And I think, pushing yourself, finishing what you start. If your goal is to exercise for 21 days in a row and create a habit, don't make it hard by having to go down to Planet Fitness. Just walk around the neighborhood for 15 minutes. Get out there and do something consistently until it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, whether it's prospecting, recruiting, exercise, it starts with that vision and then the follow through, and then also measuring yourself and having a reward. Like Tony Robbins says, you're motivated by pain, you're motivated by pleasure. So what I encourage people to do is set a goal and then have a reward that motivates them. The word motivation by definition is a reason to take action. And that reason may be a vacation, it may be a car, it may be an investment property, but you got to have a why behind the what. Otherwise you gravitate towards mediocrity. And I think the best quote of all time is Zig Ziglar's quote, if you're hard on yourself, life will be easy. But if you're easy on yourself, life will be hard.
Well, man, that's the truth. In fact, Pamela, make sure you write that down in the comments. Here's the deal. As you've gone around the world and with these success summits that you've got, and I want to talk about, because we've only got 5 minutes left, I want to talk about your success summits. What do you see the pervading thing? Are people optimistic or are they scared to death right now? And are they taking their destiny into their own hands, or are they basically still standing back waiting for life to hit them like a ton of bricks?
Well, the people that attend the Success Summit are the best people in the community. I mean, the people that come out to these events, are the people that are looking to make connections, that are looking to get the edge, both in life and in business, and to learn the strategies so that they can, shortcut the process. I used to tell people it takes 6 years to become a millionaire. I think if you know what you're doing, you can do it in a year and a half, 2 years now. Just find the right opportunity, throw yourself into it 110%, and then have, a support network around you that's going to encourage success. And we all know it's not what you know, it's who knows you, likes you, and trusts you. So getting to events and getting belly to belly, eye to eye with people and making these connections, in our high-tech world, you need to add a high touch to it. And so what we try to do in the Success Summit is bring the best business people together, bring the best content, and attach emotion. As we approach 9/11, everybody in America knows where they were when the bombs went off because emotion's attached. And when we combine great learning with great emotion, people remember what they hear.
100% right. Now talk to me about what happens if somebody registers for the Success Seminar. The minute they're registered, they're actually going to it. I know somebody that registered, they've been in connection, they've been in communication with your company. What can they expect when they come? What can they expect when they get there? What do they expect to get when they get there that's going to change their life when they leave?
Well, they're going to walk into a room with, 250 to 500 of the best business people in the area. In the Front Range, we already sold out our show in Westminster, which is on October 17th. If any of your listeners want to go, I may be able to open up a few seats at a special rate. They just need to mention the Tom Chenault Show. They would call 770-375-5208. But we have one in Denver on December 12th. The great wide receiver Rod Smith is going to be at both of those events. He's going to be talking about how he went from the projects to having 2 Super Bowl rings. And he actually was a student at one of my events in 2011. He got out a yellow piece of paper. He had written down 20 things that he wanted to achieve, and he achieved 19 of them, including winning 2 Super Bowl rings. So they're going to be in a room with exciting people, some of the best business people in the Front Range. And they're going to get a 52-page workbook. And then what we're going to talk about, we're going to get a business strategy together. We're going to talk about sales scripts and verbiage that works, whether, you're recruiting a new team member or you're making a sale. We're going to talk about leadership, and how important it is to lead by example. And we're going to spend about half the day talking about social media. And if anybody's over 35 years of age and didn't grow up with it, I mean, there's just so much to learn, and I help demystify it for people. Should they be on Facebook or should they be on LinkedIn? Should they be on Instagram? Should they be on all 3? Where should video play in their marketing? And how they could build their brand and build their business, basically amplify their results. So it's a lot to go over in this quick session that we have, but we're 5-star rated. If anybody wants to learn about it, just go to facebook.com/Steve Black Speaker. You'll see videos, testimonials about the event. I have a lot of free content up there. And if you'd like to get one of my ebooks, just send us a message at our business page, Steve Black Speaker, and I'll send you a book on how to network your way to success at no charge. So lots of bonuses here for your audience.
Well, you've been really, really good, and we got to go. We got a big breaking news thing coming in the next segment. So I want to thank you for coming on, and all of you. Adrian likes this guy and called me on the phone and said, Dad, I think this guy came in the office. He is a real force to be reckoned with. I did some checking around. People, he's not in the network marketing space, but he's in that training space. He is an elevator of people, and all of you need to take a look at his website, take a look at him, see if you want to go down to one of his seminars, not only in Colorado, but all over the world. This guy's the real deal. Steve, thanks a million for coming on. We really, really appreciate you. You're a good guy, and you have yourself a phenomenal day. We're coming back right after this. This is the Tom Chenault Show on the Genesis Communication Network. Thank you so much, Ted Anderson, for letting us be on your show. We really, really appreciate that. We'll be back right after this. Thanks. And we're back. Hello, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Never better. What about you?
I'm having a great day.
So what's your job?
I'm the digital communications manager here.
And really? Were you surprised when I wanted you to be the guest on the commercial?
Absolutely honored.
Why did I do that?
Please explain.
Because I usually have the guy that's in the first segment do the deal. But that guy, I know he had never downloaded the app. So I didn't want to embarrass him. So I thought, I got to bring somebody in that understands contact mapping. Otherwise, we'd have a bogus, inauthentic commercial.
Well, I know contact mapping pretty well.
I thought that might be good. So let's talk about it a little bit. Where do you work?
I work here at Contact Mapping.
What a shock. It's unbelievable. And what's your job? Do you love it?
I love it. I am pretty much the face behind the computer whenever anyone has an issue with the app, anybody wants to talk to somebody that works here and get a little bit more information, I'm usually the first person that gets to see those messages.
And were you born with that ring in your nose?
It's part of the deal. Yeah.
It's so cool. So this guy is such an adorable guy. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's such a spectacular kid. He lives for concerts, don't you?
I love live music. Yeah.
Yeah. And you love what else?
Live music, digital, anything like computers mainly. They're awesome. And yeah, you get to network with them and meet people. I'm always on the internet, so yeah.
Are they going to change that to Mark J on the screen?
They will.
They'll change that when Mark J gets there?
Yeah.
You're giving me the look like, yeah, when Mark gets here, we're going to do that, Tom, but Mark's not here yet.
Oh, no.
And you guys all thought that Steve Black was going to be in the commercial, so did I.
Yeah,
and so until I walked over there and they said, no, wait, you can't do it. So that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Aren't you happy? It gave you your claim to fame. When are we back? Mariana?
I can't count that high.
Okay, good. Are we back? When are we back, Mariana? 23? Okay, we've been winging it for only about 1.5 minutes. We got to keep winging it.
Well,
So what do you love about contact mapping?
honestly,
Other than me.
Besides you, basically when I moved out here, I kind of realized I lost quite a bit of touch with the people that I found that I wanted to be in touch with, people that were important to me. And I also needed a way to connect with new people out here. And I figured that what I was doing wasn't working because I'd already lost so many contacts just from moving away and didn't know how to reach back out to them in an authentic way. And so when I got contact mapping and started meeting some people out here and being able to write down something about them, write down what was important to me in that moment, it just really made it so much more authentic when I reached out to try to build on those relationships. A lot of times when you meet somebody, you get their number, and you talk about whatever you talked about that day. And then if you reach back out to them, all you've got is a, hey. So you're basically restarting everything that you just did. And so you've got to redo that over, and that's a bad cycle to get into.
Does it get better like literally every day you're around this company though?
Oh yeah, this company is bigger than just my cell phone.
Yeah, and Rick and Adrian, smart guys.
Oh, amazing guys.
So MIT PhD Rick.
Yeah.
And Adrian's no slouch.
Oh, what's that, like Sigma cum?
Summa cum laude. So
Yeah.
that's above magna.
Can't
He's so doggone smart. Both of them are, but they're great guys. They're down to earth and they're so committed to what we're doing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's awesome to work with dedicated people like that. It brings out the best in everyone.
Every job, every day's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got all these people. Elizabeth's out there and Jenny's out there, and we got all these secret agents. And now I hear there's a guy named Hammock that might be one of our guys that you don't even know about yet. We are so excited. So, all right, we're going to be back right now. So I'm back. Go get set up for Mark. I'm going to talk for a few minutes. And we're back. It's the Tom Chenault Show on the Genesis Communication Network. And hello, everybody. I'm going to do a monologue for 5 minutes. And I'm going to do it on Larry and Taylor Thompson's event this weekend, the Gig Summit down in Dallas. I went down there. I knew it was going to be great. I've seen snippets of those two. I had no idea how good they are. I had no idea how deep they are. Had no idea how groundbreaking what they're up to was going to be. It was absolutely mind-boggling. Those two are going to, they're not spring chickens. And they decided that they are going to step back in the game and step back in a major league way and really train people on both ends of the spectrum, the gig economy and what's going on there. And then down there on the other end of the spectrum, just down to earth, straight out, flat out network marketing. And it was really, really cool to be there. And the crowd was, you've never seen a crowd. There were only 100 people in the room, but I'm telling you, Jeff Roberti was there. Jeff Weisberg was there. It just incredible. And Dan Stamen was there. People that just icons, and two people that really amazed me because they're corporate guys. Jake Kevorkian's a corporate guy. I wasn't looking over his shoulder, so I don't know what he was up to. But Al Bala, the president and CEO over at Manatech, I am telling you, I was around him the whole time. I listened to this guy's love for his field, his commitment to his field, his belief for his field, his fight for his field. And he and his wife, Johanna, have absolutely made a stand that the littlest guy in their company is as important as the biggest pin in their company. And they're out there proving it all over the world. And the other guy that did that same thing, and I actually watched him take notes like nonstop, was Sean Murphy. And I know you guys all know him as the extraordinary host of the ANMP convention this last year. And he really came onto my radar before that with his heart, but I never really knew his skills until the ANMP. So I was really watching him too. And so then I was watching him write the entire time And I thought, this guy is a beast. And Denise wasn't with me. So during the break, at about 3/4 of the way through the place, I just waited until he went to the bathroom. And then I grabbed my camera and I took a picture of all of his notes and then apologized for it later. And I'm still not too sure. He's wrapped his hands around the fact that I literally swiped his notes and then I read them. And this guy is such a student of the profession. And what he was writing to himself about the greatness of other people was so doggone, it just inspired me. And I just want to do a shout out for both of those guys. And obviously I had Leslie Hebert with him. And he also had, Marianne, you got to mute Mark. And he also had, and Mark, I love that shirt. It's going to be exciting. Took me right out of my set. And this Rhonda Bird Parker, she was a really brand new network marketer that was there. She was great. I just had a great time because I got to see icons. I got to see new people. I got to see just a kid named Curran who was unbelievable. I just got to see some people have the light bulbs turn on. And those guys made me a better network marketer. So I got to thinking about old dogs, new tricks. And this is pretty cool. So think about little kids. Little kids come into network marketing, and I know you all have little kids that you're trying to get in, and they're 21, 22, 23 years old, and they go, I don't know anybody. I don't know anything about business. I don't have any credibility. I don't have any relevance. They don't have anything. Nobody wants to listen to me. That's what happens. You guys have to agree with that, every one of you. I can see your heads nodding. Okay, good. Now think about me. I'm age 65. I am technically a senior citizen for many, many years here. And as I get older, as older people get older, and you see them going into the lazy boy chair, and it's making you crazy because you want your mom and dad or your grandparents to get out of that lazy boy chair and go do something like exercise and all that stuff. And yet they don't want to tell you this, but I'm telling you, I'm one of them now. And us older people have the same problem as those young kids. We don't feel as relevant anymore. We don't feel like people are listening to us anymore. We don't feel like we're making a contribution anymore. And therefore we think and we're sold the story that we're supposed to fade into the woodwork. But I didn't get that memo. I started a company called Contact Mapping when I was 65 with Adrian and Rick Manelius, the kid from MIT. And as a result of that, I have been thrown into absolutely the cyber world and the cyber, Slack and Trello and all this stuff these guys do all the time is absolutely unbelievable. It's keeping my hair on fire. It's keeping my brain turned on. But I feel like I'm doing more important work right now than I've ever done in my life. And I don't know what you old people have to do to get that feeling of relevance again. But I'm going to tell you the tip for the old people and the young people, and it's your database. The person who knows the most people wins. The person who has contacts all over everywhere, and he is that or she is that go-to person wins. Who I am is that. I am that go-to person that literally nobody can live without. That's who I am. My relationships mean more to me than literally air in my lungs. I'm going to talk about that with Mark here in a second because of my day yesterday over at the, what do you call it? The Veterans Hospital was unbelievable. So this is going to be a great show with Mark coming right up, and we're going to be right back. So you want to stick around. And we're back. It's the Tom Chenault Show, and we've got Mark J with us, and it's going to be an absolute rock star half hour here. He's downloaded the app. He knows contactmapping.com inside and out. This guy is my friend because his heart goes so deep. He calls me on the phone, and he is literally crying about somebody's plight in the world that is in a similar situation to he and I, who's in a similar situation to he and I in the past. He and Davine, his wife, are two of the kindest, nicest, deepest, best people I know. Mark J., how are you, you little frilly shirt man?
Yeah, I broke out a new shirt for you today. Anyway,
gosh, you look good.
There's 61 that haven't been worn. That's my little fetish, but it's better than what the fetish used to be, right? We're doing great.
Yeah, fetishes, that's plural.
Yep. Was at a, sunrise prayer meeting this morning, and, it started the day off great, and looking forward to this and being able to work with you and maybe be of some service. That's the key.
Okay. Here's the deal, everybody. I have a short list of people that I endorse, that I love, that this show, in fact, Sean Murphy said something about my guests. And I said, tell me there's a bad guest. I want to know who you thought was a bad guest, because he gave me an eye roll and he says, you got great guests, Tom, but they rarely give you the love back. And it's ironic that I got the love back. I got the love back guy on here today. So we're able to take Sean Murphy and have him eat his hat, because this guy is the king of giving the love back. He just said he was at a sunrise serenity meeting in Hawaii this morning. And guess what? He sent me a note and a prayer with love in it, just telling me to have a great day from Hawaii this morning. This guy gives love back more than anybody I know. He is a professional network marketer, and in my book, top of the list. So Mark, what's going on these days?
Well, what's happening right now is this is the time of year where my number one passion and why I did network marketing and what changed my network marketing career and my wife's network marketing career, and literally thousands of people's network marketing careers from frustration to success. And that is the Master Key experience, which we can talk about a little bit later. But that's right now, that's taking place right now. And what's phenomenal about that is everybody, so you don't see there's a pitch here, everybody's tuition for the course, the 6-month course, has already been covered by previous members who went through the course and had such massive change in their life. They voluntarily paid it forward. So get to MKMMA course. We're going to jump.com. We're going to jump you through some hurdles to make sure that you'll honor that scholarship. You're going to be about 2 or 3 hours worth of work over the next 5 days to qualify for a scholarship, because we want the people that contributed your tuition to be honored. It's really that simple. But Tom, it really got back to the early 90s where I was failing for now the 6th time in network marketing, and stumbled into a serious reading of what W. Clement Stone gave me, Think and Grow Rich, back in 71. And
Roger, he gave you that book?
Yeah, I was trained by W. Clement Stone. And if you don't know who he is, folks, he wrote the...
No idea. That other guy dropped Brian Tracy's name, and he dropped Tom Hopkins' name. And so, but this guy has the book that the guy gave him.
Yeah, Stone gave this to me. He signed it. Hill signed it. And what he told me was these were exercises. They're not books.
And have the same thing. I'm going to be rather impressed.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, here it is, right here.
Jesus signed it.
Not signed.
Okay, good.
But anyway, I was struggling, and I took that seriously. That it was an exercise, not a book. Finally, in my mid 40s, and had a spiritual awakening, and became so changed by it that I became obsessed with where did Hill get all this information. And it turns out Carnegie, who challenged Hill and gave him the assignment, gave him the book, The Master Key System. And Tom, that's when I found out all the self-help stuff, all the seminars, all that, God bless them, live and let live, they won't change anything. Right. The real key to success is service, but you can't give away what you don't have. So you've got to understand this is the 2 greatest statements that will open the little hinges that open the big door are: 1, what lies before you and what lies behind you is paled in comparison to what lies within you. What that says is Mark J. or Joe Blow, or, going to a seminar and screaming all weekend and walking across ice cubes or hot coals or what have you, it's not going to change anything. It doesn't take 21 days to develop a habit. It takes 90 without a mess. And this is a great thing Richard Bliss Brooke is tied into now. It doesn't happen in 21 days. That's baloney. So fundamentally, you've got a real,
Brooke
yeah.
stole that from me. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh, you got it's actual science. No habits developed in 21 days. But fundamentally, this means that everything you need is within you. And that's what we do in the Master Key experience. I went through it myself. I drew it out of myself and was able to build 6 of these to top pin level each one in less time, each time sponsoring less people, always with a list of less than 200 people, and never herded anybody from deal to deal. By 2009 and 10, we were cashing checks, top pin level checks from 6 companies. Now, the question wasn't leads or social media or, you know, this guru or that guru. God bless all of them, live and let live. The key was, we found the magic within us. There's an Aladdin's lamp within each and every one of us. And you can draw that out if you're willing to do the work. That's the key. And that's what I've always admired about you, Tom. You do the work. In the final analysis, you got there by doing the work.
That's exactly right. And I am telling you something. I know this about you. You are a rock star. And you don't have a lot of love for a lot of trainers out there because you think they're picking pockets, because you built it, and now you're teaching people to build it. And it pisses you off when you see people spending money that they shouldn't be spending because the person has never really done it, so they don't know how to teach it, right?
Right. Well, there's a lot of posers out there, but as my good friend Tom Big Al Schreider has taught me, you can't stop people from hurting themselves. You know, our parents all taught us the same thing. Don't judge a book by its cover. And there's some slick marketers out there and some people that pretend to have done it. They're not my problem. My problem is me when I wake up in the morning, and how can I be of the greatest service to the greatest number of people? Because you've got to realize the source of all good is going to look for the channel that it can create the greatest good through. And so it's a responsibility and a privilege to honor that source. So I don't really care about those people. Yes, I've been outspoken about it, but people continue to throw money, and this is why. They think the magic is outside. It's not in leads. It is not in leads. You don't need leads. You know enough people right now. I could build a network marketing organization. I proved it over and over and over again the last 4 times with less than 200 new names. It's easy because if you know how the mind works, and the way that you discover that is learning how your mind works, how all people make decisions. Once that happens, it gets really exciting. My biggest regret in network marketing, Tom, was when I first discovered this in 95 and 6, I sponsored too many people and it was irresponsible. I had a goal of sponsoring 60 people a month because I had been like 6 years without sponsoring anybody. So the pendulum went too far the other way. They need to be like you. They need to be like the people that you were talking about that were making notes about how to be great. You see, there are no common people. There's greatness in all of us, and this nonsense of sponsoring 20, 30 people a month in and month out, and having one producer at the end of the year, that should tell you they don't know how to develop people. What's key is the regret that I had was to learn from it and change. The last deal we built over 10,000 distributors. I sponsored 17 people, but 5 of them were my mom, my aunts and uncles who I just wanted on the product. So 12 people, all brand new, never made any money in network marketing because we got inside them. We got them to understand there are no common people. There's greatness in everybody, and helping people draw that out of themselves through real personal development, not the stuff, write your goals down, give me a break. People don't even know what they want. I didn't even know who I was. And when you look at people's goal statements, they're always pretty much the same thing. They're about what they don't want, not what they want to achieve in their life like you. You know why you're on the planet. And that's to help people that are still struggling with the things that you and I struggled with. You know, there's a purpose in life for each individual to find, and you found yours. And that's why you're successful. I found mine. That's why I'm successful, to draw this greatness out. Mark my words, there are no common people. And going down to a seminar and writing down goals and quote unquote taking massive action leads to heartache and despair, because nothing changes until you change what's inside. The subconscious mind is making all the decisions. And until you learn how to get in there and influence the subconscious mind so the decisions are different, the rest of it is just an exercise in futility. And no guru and no book and no course is going to save you. What's going to save you is that connection within to the realm of the spirit world, and everybody's got it. They just haven't been taught how to draw it out. And that's what we do in the Master Key experience. We teach people how to draw out this incredible, magnificent, dynamic, service-driven, loving, giving, incredible, dynamic, unique individual. That's the deal.
So Pamela Ann Schwartz, I mean, Melinda Wynn. I'm just trying to think of how many people I've known that said to me, hey, Tom, Elaine Asher down in Australia, you got to back off with me, Tom, a little bit, because I am immersed in the Master Key experience. I'm working with Mark J, and it has turned me inside out with the homework and the integrity that I have to stay in tune there. You teach people to become true professional network marketers, right?
Well, here's the thing. This was the big breakthrough for me. The answer to your question is yes, but all I'm showing them is what they've been doing since they've been 2 years old.
I got it.
It's not that difficult. Here's the deal, right? Inside each person is virtually an Aladdin's lamp. And what they have to do, this power or this truth of being, they're powerful beyond measure. The omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent is in them. So what we do is get them engaged in the greatest adventure on the planet, which is self-discovery. And Dave and I feel the same way, my wife. The best influence in self-discovery is no influence. So we don't influence people about what to think, but that they can think. Most of us stop thinking around 14, 15, 17 years old. We're just copies of copies. So what those people were relating to you, Tom, was they found this power. And that's the thing. You've got to find the power. There's a little story about these sailors that were becalmed, and they were dying of thirst. And finally, another boat comes along, and they said, we need some water. And they said, throw down your bucket, meaning drop it into the sea. And they thought that was kind of cruel because you drink salt water, you're going to die. And they yelled again, we need water. And they said, throw down your bucket. We need water. Throw down your bucket. So finally, one of them throws it down, and he pulls it up, and sure enough, it's full of fresh water. They didn't realize they were in the estuary system of the Amazon River. And here's the thing, and this is how most people live their life. They're looking outside in network marketing for leads or how to break ranks or something like that. And they believe that when they are successful in network marketing, they'll be a better person, a better dad, a better mom, a better sister, a better community member, a better deacon at their church. Nothing could be further from the truth. It won't change you at all. What changes is when you become a better person, and that's what your friends from Australia and all over the world are talking about now. When you become better, your relationships get better, your business gets better, your skills get better. And the reason is you're now that authentic human being that you have strived for so many years to put out there, Tom. That's the deal, is what we're all seeking is one thing. And that is an authentic connection to another human being. And when these people find their true self, they're so blown away by how magnificent they are that now who's coming into their life changes dramatically. And they learn in the course. Success is service. It's pretty simple. It's been talked about for 4,000 years by smarter people than me. But success is service. And they begin serving like you do, Tom, authentically, like your son is with this app. It's authentic. It's from the heart. That's why you're winning. It's not more talent or more connections or more money. It's more heart. And the heart actually sends more messages to the brain than the other way around. So they've learned to listen to their heart. And that is what's attractive to people, people that know where they're going. So my suggestion is to check out mkmmacourse.com. If you want to be challenged, I'm not going to fib to you. It's going to be the toughest thing you've ever done and far and away the most rewarding. Last year alone, we produced 5 best-selling authors alone. That's just in one area. A girl that had 8 kids, 8, struggling in network marketing, is now in the top 1% of network marketers in the world. With the 8 kids, a single mom. And these type of stories are
8 kids, single mom?
8 kids, single mom, and had never made more than $600 or $700 in network marketing. Now she's in the, I believe she's in the top 1/2 of 1% of the earners. I know she is with her company. I believe she is in the world. Dawn Anderson, remarkable woman.
Dawn Anderson, my hat is off to you. I don't know you, but that is an unbelievable accomplishment.
8 kids.
Not that.
No, I'm saying to do anything with 8 kids.
I know the kids are great, but I wasn't even thinking about the kids. That probably took some effort too, but that is unbelievable. So, wow, yeah, I'm just in shock. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what Dawn got and what these people get is this, folks. The ancestor of everything is thought. The clothes that you're wearing, the device that you're looking at, the desk or chair that you're in, the house or apartment, the village that it's in the town, everything, the ancestor of everything first is thought. And if you think that you're going to write down goals based on your current consciousness and that's going to change anything, it's not. It's just going to lead to more heartbreak and despair. Is it good you wrote something down? Yeah, write something down that you want to get done in the next 24 hours. That's a big enough goal, because until you find out what your real heart's desire is, you're just making choices based on what companies or uplines or peer pressure or what mommy or daddy or schools or institutions taught you. You need to become a self-directed thinker. I'm telling you, the most magnificent person on the planet that you'll ever meet is the real you.
We have to take a break.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. This is Tom Chenault, and it's Mark J., and he is a machine. I love the guy. Coming back right after this. Stick around, everybody. And we're back. Okay, we have Jason here. This is Jason, Mark. He's a sweetheart of a guy.
Mark, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He's like 12. So tell him, he doesn't listen to me. He's out there on board and on the contact mapping stuff. He is our rock star. And by the way, Marianne, come out here and get behind camera, but you can't just, I'm trying to, Marianne is telling me I'm doing something wrong, and all she keeps doing is standing above the monitor and going like this. And I'm going, what? And I'm trying to act like I'm paying attention to Mark, and she's acting like it's a pantomime. And this show is completely jacked because of her, because you guys all know something's going on behind the scenes. So Jason is sitting right over there. He's a genius. All she has to do is tell Jason to fix it, because I don't do anything but talk. But God in heaven, what?
He's got to come in the show and out of the show. I think we forgot to come back.
Okay, get out of here, Jason. I have a surprise for everybody. Get out of here, Marianne. The invisible man, the golfer, while his dad's working.
I just broke about 500 laws. The cops.
Yay!
15 minutes. What's up, Mark?
He wanted to be here so bad.
Oh
It was
God,
unbelievable.
I was dying, and I said, because I didn't think he was going to be on the back half. So then I saw that, so I started really driving fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
so here's how you, I don't want to say that because then people will know. So I can't tell you. Yeah, there's a reason he's on the back of the show. And the reason he's on the back of the show is because the show ends, and I don't ever want the show to end with the good guy.
Yeah.
So, because I love you. And then if I lost, yeah, so this is perfect. It worked out great. Say hi to Mark.
This is unbelievable. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm waiting for my lesson. Okay.
It happened.
Jason's your on board.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
saw the real guy, the real brains behind the operation. We just shoved off screen, poor guy.
And your first guest, I had checked with your first guest, and he didn't even download the app, so I didn't let him be on the commercial. I just kicked him off after the first thing. So he's probably all pissed off at you, and that's going to be perfect. But if you don't, good God, if you're on my show for free, you'd think you'd at least use the app, wouldn't you?
You might.
Yeah.
That's just
Sure.
common luggage. I can't even.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Over and talked to Rick Manelius. I said, "Is this guy he needs to I wanted to make sure he understood exactly how to work it and stuff." And the guy goes, never downloaded it. So I know I ruined your friendship with the guy, but that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, this is
That's the real stuff.
it's a reciprocal relationship, Adrian.
That's right. That
Okay,
is
so Mark, talk to Mark. Ask him about contact mapping or something.
right. Well, I want to. Yeah. So, Mark, what's going on in your world? I know I missed most of the show, but what are you working on right now?
Well, we got the Master Key Experience coming up, and what we really want to do, one of the things that we're doing, because we've already agreed to, been asked to and agreed, we're going to do the Master Key Retreat here in Kauai again in June, but we're also doing it over in Nice France, and people are getting connected all over the world. And I think I had emailed you about this. I would love to be able to get groups in there at once. Where are we in that progress? Because here's what happens. When people take this course, they get a one-on-one guide, hands-on guide to walk them through, but it's the connection to other people. And we want to get this contact mapping to all 700 scholarship people that we're beginning free scholarships to, or what they call pay it forward scholarships, meaning they've been paid for them. But I want everybody on that, so the experiences that they're having, they can share with their friends and reach out to their friends. Where are you in terms of being able to upload?
It's there. Richard Brooke just wrote a sidebar note, and he's going to fund the whole deal. This is unbelievable.
You know, I've been trying to shake money. I've been trying to shake money out of that guy for 3 years. You know?
I can't believe it. I guess that was a typo. Yeah, it's a typo. I'm so sorry. You know what he posted that you're supposed to.
We have to go back on now.
Why? Oh no, we got to come back. Sorry. All right, shut up for a second.
Okay.
It's done. And we're back. It's Tom Chenault, and it's the Tom Chenault Show. I hope you're all having an unbelievable day. Got a great guest here. And Mark, we got comments like crazy on the radio, and people can't really track that website you're sending them to because there's so many notes or letters or something. So slowly say www. whatever it is. So the radio can hear it.
MK, which stands for Master Key, MK, MMA, okay, which stands for Mastermind Alliance, MKMMA course.com. MKMMAcourse.com. Master Key, Mastermind Alliance, just using the letters for that. So MKMMAcourse.com. And this is the key, is you get a mastermind here. No one makes it without a mastermind, which is another reason, you know, I saw something come up that was fantastic that Richard Bliss Brooke is doing to alter the entire dynamic of these type of events.
RichardBrook.com.
Yeah.
But money just exchanged hands.
Yeah.
In the background in Hawaii. Just so we all know.
Yeah, it just showed up. It just showed up on my PayPal.
That's Brooke. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, he was feeling really generous. He sent me $1.71. But anyway, really stretched his budget. But basically, what we do in the Master Key experience, not only is it 6 months, but there is hands-on support, and then you're in a tribe of about 10 to 15 people where they are helping you. No one makes it without a mastermind alliance, which definitionally is 2 or more people working in perfect harmony towards a purpose. Now, what's nice about the event that Richard's doing, and I strongly suggest if you're in network marketing, you check it out, because you know, Tom, I'm not a fan of these things. They're pitch fests. Well, this is just Richard with a dash of Kimmy, thank goodness, once in a while. And he's having people come with 9 other people on their team so that cohesion is there. And that's what's so important to help us over the rough spots, help us coordinate the new thoughts that we have and how other people are dealing with them. And this is what happens in the Master Keys. This is what happens with courses that are legitimate, is there is 30, 60, 90, and 180-day follow-up to make sure the stuff sticks. And when I say 30, 60, 90, I'm talking about a little bit to do every day with other people, so these new habits become first, executed, and then eventually they just become who you are, and you are the dynamic force of the person that you were always intended to be. Does that make sense?
It makes nothing but sense, and I agree with you. And I looked at that thing, and he said send $5,000. I go, what? So maybe it does make sense, and it's only $500 a piece for all those people, and I'll look at it and figure out what the heck he's trying to peddle to me now. And I love the guy. I love you. Schreider, I think, is coming to Longmont in a couple of days, and he's going to do an event in our offices upstairs. I'm pointing upstairs to an office upstairs, so not in heaven. So he's going to do it upstairs in our training center in the top of the building here. So this is really exciting. I love the fact that we've got this crew of really, really good people singing a song of abundance, singing a song. There's a guy out there named James Rouse who is just a terrific guy who has really opened my eyes to how much resignation, cynicism, and despair is on the planet right now. He's got 37 years of sobriety, and I love this guy, and he's become a new friend of mine. And I'm just realizing that you and I and Fogg and Brooke and Al, we've got not work to do. We've got serious, important work to do to bring hope back to this world. Do you agree?
Well, I do, but here's the thing that you've got to get, Tom, and we've got to get people, because you come from this place. The world and everybody in it is absolutely, and everything in it, perfect for where it has evolved to. It's absolutely perfect. However, it's not complete. Take up a cause bigger than yourself, like I have, like Richard has, like Tom has. You need a cause to commit to something bigger than yourself where there's no financial remuneration. What's your contribution? The world and everyone in it is perfect, or the world is going to hell in a handbasket. If you're in the second group, you'll never be successful. You've got to believe, and you've got to understand your responsibility is to draw this greatness out of yourself to help that evolvement get a little bit better today and a little bit better tomorrow, just a little bit at a time. And it'll work if we all contribute and stop being controlled by people that don't want you to think. Learn to be a self-directed thinker, draw that greatness out, and then put those new, unique, marvelous, incredible, kind, service-driven thoughts into play with the person on your left and the person on your right.
Right. Next week, our show is Kevin Thompson and Tony Cannulli. That is always a watched show of epic proportion, just like this one. And I want you, before we get out of here, we've only got a few seconds. We're not leaving at the end of the show, but I want you to go to contactmapping.com. I want you to go to richardbrooke.com. I want you to go to that long one that you wrote down that I can't remember that he's going to say one more time with the M in it. What's it called?
MKMMA course.com.
MKMMA course.com. I'm going to scholarship a guy if he will take it on into the course. You need to tell me how much it is, but I've got a project of my own called Chad Williams, and I'm going to pay for him to go through this if you'll let him come, if he makes the cut, because I love this guy and I love what he's done. I love what Pamela Schwartz has done. I love what you've done. I love you. We'll see you all next week with those two guys, Kevin Thompson and Tony Cannulli. See you all later. And we're back. Holy mackerel, is it a great day. So don't leave, Mark, whatever you do.
Don't hang up.
I'm here.
We're still on the air. Holy mackerel. Chad, get over here and get in the middle of it. I want you to meet the man that's going to turn you into a network marketer. This guy was turned over to me from Sean Murphy. He's come to Colorado. He's been to every event that you could do. He is 20 years sober. He has taken the tenets of Alcoholics Anonymous. He learned all the skills of AA, and then he got into radical self-inquiry, which is another thing that comes from the heart, Mark. And then he goes out there and shares like you've never seen before with other human beings, and the equal sign on the other side. So those are all added together. And at the end of that, this guy is building a tribe of fiercely loyal warriors that he can relate to and lead. And I want him in your course. I will pay for it if he'll do it, because this kid is somebody that you're going to know. And it is going to be a success story like that mother with the 8 kids. Don't be hitting on her. How old is she? What's she look like? So anyway, I'm kidding. So here we go. So
my wife already knows she's a backup plan. She's beautiful, and I know I'm going to get whacked for that in a minute, but we got to tell the truth.
I was watching your wife comment, and she is such an amazing woman. And God, I think I recognize good early. And I want to talk about this thing that happened to me yesterday, actually, because I want to shout out to the Veterans Administration. But Sean Murphy really recognized good early with this kid. He saw something special with him. Sean had enough class and enough humility to recognize that Chad was a case and a project. He flipped him to me because of our sobriety connection. But this kid is a godsend. I mean, kids, puppies, old people, everybody loves him. And I love you. Now get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay, got my eye on you.
Nice talking to you. Yeah, so yesterday I was in Dallas. and did that event with obviously the big boys. And I have a friend who's been drinking forever and can't quit. $50,000 a month earner and network marketing. And I went down in a few months ago and thought we had him on the right track. And as usual, I start taking credit for anybody's sobriety, and then I have to take credit for their slip. And he slipped, and he was in big trouble, and in really big trouble. And so I said, there is no way I'm leaving Texas without this guy getting some help. And so I got really plugged into it and realized what was against us. And we decided to go down and throw him. He has no money, no hope, no insurance, no nothing. And I don't know anybody down there to help me. I even posted on Facebook that I needed some help trying to get somebody that could get this guy into a detox that had a little bit of dignity, but we were not there. So I got down to inner city Dallas, and I mean homeless people and just a village of despair. It was horrible.
Tough place.
Yeah. So we're down there, and he is like in an agitated place. I'm not getting out of the car. Take me home. And I am flipping out because I am scared too. So I get out of my car and I start walking around just praying like crazy. And there's this big guy with all these, I mean, you could just tell he was powerful, and he's kind of like bossing people around and saying hi to everybody. And I got eye contact with him, and he looked at me like, "What are you doing here?" And, you know, and I wasn't dressed up. I'd look like I'm more, you know, I'm never dressed up, but our eyes locked, and God had that happen. He goes, "What are you looking for, man?" And I go, "Man, I am in trouble. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got this guy." He goes, "He's a vet." And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Come with me." So we thread ourselves through all these people, and it was hell. And we go through this area and around this thing, and he goes right through that. He said, "Go right through that door and ask for Mr. Wade." And I walk through the door, and I'm ready to cry right now. I walk through this door, and here's Mr. Wade. And he is this beautiful black man, and he's got the shiniest shoes you've ever seen in his life. He's tough as nails. And I've walked into an AA meeting and an NA meeting for veterans. And they're just about to start the meeting. So the whole room's full of people that are recovering. And I can just see that I am in the right spot. So I go running around the corner, and we pulled the car in against the law. This guy, we had to literally carry him in. He walked in, all those people are going, "Welcome, and we're going to hug you." And they wouldn't. So that's what got it started. So Mr. Wade and this woman goes, "This guy's not even, you're not even in the system. Are you sure your social security number's right?" And he's madder now. And he's going, "Yeah, that's right." And he's not in the system. They go, you gotta do this. You gotta go over to Veterans Administration outpatient.
Man.
So we go over to that, and it's across town again. And we walk into this giant building, and there are veterans everywhere, and they are in the worst shape you've ever seen. And there are nothing but angels there helping them. From the minute we walked in the door, people are being so nice to us. It was unbelievable. Bringing us cookies, bringing us coffee. We're sitting there. He's shaking on the chair. We don't know what we're going to do. You hear about the lines at the Veterans Administration all the time because people are bitching about it. What you don't hear is all these people doing everything they can for those people with everything they've got. They finally take us back. They give us a caseworker. She goes, "We can't help you here. It's not an inpatient place, and you need inpatient, and you need to be in the system. Let me see if I can get you in the system." And this angel woman does it. She completely gets him dialed in. Then she, you know, I'm already freaking out because I've lost my whole day, and I'm supposed to give a speech that night. I haven't prepared at all. She says, "Okay, Mr. Chenault, you need to get him down to the Veterans Hospital, walk him right in the door. They'll put him into detox. From detox, if he will stay, we will keep him in treatment till he wants to go home and fight the Philistines on his own, and he will not take a penny out of his pocket." That was my day yesterday. So I tossed him in an Uber because I'm such a selfish bastard, and I threw him and his wife, and they had to go all the way across town because that, you know, I didn't have the time. I had the money, but I didn't have that time, and I'm just praying the whole time that there was going to be no train wreck when they got down there. And I got a note from his wife, and she said, "Oh my God, this is beautiful. He's in a bed. He's asleep. I get to go home and sleep for the first time in a long time in my house without worrying about him dying, because God is good." Mark J., Adrian Chenault, Chad Williams, all of you can help people. And you're connected to do that. So I know that was a long rant that probably none of you wanted to hear, but God bless America.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the things, you know, we had a member, 2 quick stories, one really short, who couldn't put 2 sentences together that took the Master Keys in 2010. Could not put 2 sentences together, a vet. And anyway, he's now has 2 master's degrees, summa cum laude student, and has dedicated himself to finding those people and getting them in the system, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anthony Carr, and he's down in Texas.
Hook me up.
Yeah, I will.
Good God, would you read my Facebook page? I've been praying for the guy. I almost got mugged because you don't read my posts. Gee, it's unbelievable.
I'm too busy taking bribes from Richard Bliss Brooke. You know, it's too hard to cut, too hard to hide the money. The other thing I think that's really fascinating is that this idea about time is such a travesty. We are happiest when we're growing and helping other people. So this is science now. When I'm going to reach for something right now. Okay, I'm going to put this can here, and I'm going to reach for this. Everybody that's watching this right now, including you, Tom, the same 2 parts of your brain lit up as mine. Now, there's a message that comes back instantly from your arm that it's not happening to you. Any movement somebody makes is mirrored in your mind, and you start to do it. What does this mean? It means that we were born empathetic. And your beauty, Tom, and the love I have for you is because you're willing to put that empathy on display. You're willing to keep that in the top slot, not the almighty buck. And as a result of that, people love and trust you. And the money, just like it says in Matthew, it will be added unto you. You know, you've got to make a contribution from the heart. We are connected. Everybody is connected. I mean, think about that. When somebody reaches for something or scratches their leg, the same 2 parts light up. We're all connected, folks. Contribute, and everything in your life gets better. Really a magical thing to watch you with these last 4 or 5 years that I've really got to know you since you visited over here. It's just fantastic. A constant admiration for you. Thank you for the example that you set.
Your wife, I'm watching your wife, and she's just such a beast.
She is.
Why didn't I get a wife like that?
Well, you know, your wife and my wife, if there's an agnostic or an atheist out there, the Tom Chenault would end up with Denise, or I'd end up with Davine. There's proof that there's a God.
Amen to that, everybody.
Unmerited gifts.
We got to go. I love you, Mark. I love you, Dave. I love all of you. Thank you for watching this show. I love you. I feel like I've known you all your life. Adrian Chenault.
Love you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
All right. Peace.
Bye, guys. See ya.